I want to get better at connecting with people, so I'm putting together a couple of videos as an experiment. This is the Christmas edition. Here at Colonial Williamsburg, checking out the Grand Illumination. I'm here with my sister, Parthena. Say hello, Parthena.
Hi.
Wait. For those of you who haven't been, the Grand Illumination is when Colonial Williamsburg kicks off their holiday season with fireworks and other festivities. I was curious to see how one of these videos might come out, what kind of connections might form if my sister came along. Fortunately, she was nice enough to agree. Here's what happened.
What are we doing? What are we up to today?
We are at Grand Illumination.
And what are we doing? Are we going anywhere?
Yes, we're going to the King's Arms Tavern.
Right across the street?
Yep.
Are you excited? Or are you annoyed? You're like, why am I on camera?
Yes.
So when I asked her to elaborate about her thoughts on being on camera, she replied with quite the diplomatic answer.
I like hanging out with my brother.
Oh, hey, thanks, Parthena. One of the first things we got to check out was a couple of colonial-style marching bands. After the bands finished playing, we had some time before the fireworks and our dinner reservations, so we got to do some exploring. All right, nice and toasty by the fire here. Parthenops does not want to go on camera, so it's just me. Sorry about that. Then we got to see an a cappella group perform a couple of carols. Deck the hall with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. Afterwards, an orator shared some tidbits about historical Christmas traditions.
It has long been our tradition to bring into our houses the living greens when all around is dead. And those greens they have a religious significance. For the holly, by its thorns, does represent that crown of thorns worn by our Lord Jesus Christ.
One of my goals for these videos is to meet and interact with new people. And I did.
Hello.
I'm Father Christmas, and this is my assistant, Tycho.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. Your humble servant.
I asked the pair about their favorite Christmas traditions, which led to Tycho asking the crowd for holiday dish recommendations.
I'm gathering many suggestions from people of various dishes that should be supplied at my family's feast. I have a few in mind of my own. However, I wish to hear your opinions. What say you to coffee with mustard?
Coffee with mustard?
What about boiled sheep's head? Very well. A few fans, yes.
Tycho then told us that ice cream flavored with oysters was a favorite holiday treat for Martha Washington. Who knew, right?
And what of you? For your Christmas feast, what would your favorite thing be?
Jello.
You mean a gelatin? A jelly. Ah, very good.
Very well then.
A pig's feet jelly then.
Would you care to write that in the corner here? Would you care to write that in here? Just put your Jello right there.
Moments later, Father Christmas urged the crowd to sing some Christmas carols.
The tidings we bring to you and your kin. Good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I'm sure Father Christmas and Tycho were doing that sort of thing all day, but Parthena and I wouldn't have gotten to experience it if I didn't go and say hello. It's a good reminder about what can happen when we take that initiative. I talked to a few others that night as well. While waiting for the fireworks to start, I met Kathy and Betty, two bird enthusiasts. I was surprised to discover that they were from the Midwest, that they had come so many states away to check out the Grand Illumination. After we talked a bit, I think it was Kathy who showed me some of the bird photos that she had taken. Our conversation started when I asked about her camera. I noticed she was shooting with a Canon camera and asked her about it. From my experiences, I found that it's easier to get a dialogue going when you ask about hobbies as opposed to work. After the fireworks and while we were waiting to be seated for dinner, Parthena and I also met Larry, a Princeton graduate, and his daughter Scarlett. They were also from out of state, in this case from New York. We talked a bit about Colonial Williamsburg and history of that era, some of the things that Scarlett was interested in, and so on. It was a good conversation, and I was a little hesitant to bring out my camera right away. As I mentioned in part 1, I want my focus to be on building the connection, not on capturing the attempt, getting all the footage, and so on. Besides, it had taken enough effort to persuade my sister to be in the video. I didn't want to push my luck. Not yet, anyway. By the time we had built enough rapport with Larry and Scarlett where I felt more comfortable bringing out my camera, they called us for dinner, so I didn't get to capture them. So it goes, but then I enjoyed our conversation. I felt like we had a real connection for a little bit. Eventually we were seated, and Parthena and I were delighted to discover that the King's Arms Tavern had given us a commemorative gold-plated ornament as a thank you for coming to dine with them during the Grand Illumination. Before our food arrived, a lady came in and serenaded us with a holiday wassail and some traditional carols. The meal itself was delicious, and our waiter was nice enough to take this photo of us. I'm doing these videos because I want to get better at connecting with people. But that night I was reminded that it's not always about connecting with new people. Sometimes the best way to connect is just to spend more time with the people we already cherish. It really was a memorable night, and I'm so grateful that I got to share it with my sister. Merry Christmas, everybody!